Every summer I vacation in a rural part of Ireland. Across the field from where I stay, there's this old hay barn. This has always been here and I've always explored it over the years. However, last week I noticed something interesting. Let's take a look inside. Across the other side of the old abandoned farm, we've got these outhouses, small little sheds. These small buildings have always been nice to explore. However, there's not much inside. This place is destroyed. The roof has caved in and a lot of junk on the ground. Continuing around the yard, ducking beneath a gate, we can see how several trees have taken growth in the steps of this building. There's an old area where the cattle or pigs used to be ferried along before slaughter, perhaps. This is the main outbuilding. The roof is completely caved in. If you throw a pebble, it'll go straight through the rusted iron. I often thought that was everything in the barn. However, a week ago, I discovered a new area around this fallen tree. So after climbing beyond the fallen tree, we can make our way through a field of overgrown blackberries. We come around the back of the barn complex. We notice how the land sort of dips. We're just at the back of the outbuildings, that's okay. This old pit is probably a collapsed old outbuilding. We need to go down here, so this is where I take out the slender cam. We get a nice magnesium torch, get a hot shoe attachment for a camera, and tape it on with just a string of really tight tape. So we simply mount it to the hot shoe of the camera, tighten it up, make sure everything's nice and tight, and voila, slender cam. This looks like a house. It's not like finding a dungeon underneath your home, but still, in the field across the way, it's a pretty neat find. Let's take a look. Everything's open. An old hand drill, which doesn't look too old. This is suspicious. Some bovril. Some British drink where they make tea out of gravy. Got an old bench at the far wall. Rafters above. There must be an upstairs. Eerie grandparent wallpaper. So many assorted kitchen bottles and utensils. Everything looks very old. Just look at that. Look how knackered that looks. Smashed bits of chair. An old cabinet. The plates look filthy. Oh, they only get worse. Still, with a bit of fairy liquid, might be able to use these. Look inside those cupboards. More plates. A boot. Pretty large, actually. That might fit. And this is the way into the old kitchen. That wallpaper's amazing. Little hatch where you could cook things, I don't know. Old frame. And this is curious. It's an old shackle of some sort. Got a chain and then shackles at the end. That's definitely something that you would put around somebody's wrist. That's an old leather strap with a buckle on it and then a chain. It looks like something that you'd find in a dungeon. It's very strange. Another shoe. Okay, here's a pot. Let's take a look at what their last meal was. The stew has sort of coagulated with the rust of the bottom of the pot. It's still wet inside. That's a yellow tennis ball. Doesn't really bounce anymore though. An old teacup. An ominous looking garden shears. Somebody's got the golden plates. Now there's no stairs in this room, but if you take a look at the rafters and come over here, there's a hole in the rafters where the staircase used to stand. We've got an upstairs. Now this bench is conveniently placed to become sort of a makeshift staircase. I'm crawling across molds, this is not nice. The desk, that doesn't look too old actually. There's a pile of old lace on the ground and there seems to be a newspaper beneath it. Let's take a look. There's no date, but take a look at the price. 3p, or threepence, as they say. It's bizarre. If we continue with our slender cam tour, we can see the old bed. The old wires became so knackered that whoever used to live here supplemented them with rope. Does not look comfortable, especially since it's covered by cardboard. It's got a cardboard mattress. Got an old wardrobe. Whoa. There's a lone hanger hanging from what used to be the wardrobe. The walls are crumbling. The window is smashed. There's also, through this partition, another room. Let's take a look in here. The door is knackered. There's not much to see in here. What looks like another old mattress. An ominous looking chair. Interestingly, the windows here are all at ground level. Extreme cobwebs. Floor has an interesting old lino pattern. Let's make our way back out of the house. Hang on, is that an old wallet? Fortunately it's empty. Now let's get out of here. It's quite a drop to that staircase. These walls are so wet and damp and horrible. Let's get out of here. Once I get outside, I realise how foolish I was never to have seen this place before, because it leads right back to the outbuildings that we saw at the start of this video. That's the outbuilding I'm familiar with. However, the house itself is all the way back within this dead foliage.